Jordy's Time Waster, take one.
Welcome to Jordy's Time Waster, take one. We're gonna call it that. We'll fix the name in post. So the purpose of this show is we're gonna make a meal while incorporating beer into as many ingredients as possible. So we're gonna be making fried chicken sandwiches today. We're gonna find a bunch of ways to do that. I've got Anton Matushin here to distract us.
I couldn't tell if which is yeast or which is sugar, because this looks like brown sugar and white sugar.
It's both, and you're gonna find out why here right away. So first off, we're gonna start with beer-infused brioche.
Ooh.
So first thing we wanna do is take our beer, we're gonna do about a half cup of beer. We're just gonna warm the beer up a little bit. Just get it nice and toasty. And then we're gonna pour it into the yeast and sugar mixture. That's gonna be able to activate it. You want the nice and hot, and the sugar is actually going to feed the yeast, so that's what makes it come to life.
Feed the yeast.
Flour and salt, some eggies. I'll get the dishwasher to deal with those afterwards.
Feed the yeast is what I call when I come home from work and I'm hungry. Time to feed the yeast, babe! Yeah, she broke up with me 6 hours ago, so.
Alright, so we're gonna let that foam up. We're gonna get the yeast as well you can't see it. And then we're just gonna have it mixing up, and then we're going to drop in our nice room temperature butter, and that's just gonna break down.
Now why does it have to be room temperature, Jordy?
So it can break down easier and mix into the dough better. You thought you had me, didn't you?
I thought you were gonna punch me in the mouth and start mixing this by hand.
Alright, so we've got all of our ingredients into our mixer. We've got our little beer, yeast, and sugar mixture. That's got a little time to develop. It's got a little life going on there. So we fully formed our dough. We're just gonna drop our little bits of butter here in slowly. Just let that do its thing. You don't want to add it too fast, otherwise it's not going to be able to incorporate itself in there. Brioche, it's a really sticky dough, so it's going to pretty much look like that. So we're just going to take our little guy off of there. Plop it off. Came off.
So impressive.
And then we're just gonna make a nice ball, and then we're just gonna put that off to the side. We're gonna cover it in some plastic wrap, and we're gonna let that sit for a little bit until it doubles in size.
Why do you gotta cover it in plastic wrap?
So it doesn't dry out.
Ah, Jordy's got all the answers.
Sometimes when I was a kid, and if we didn't have any dessert in the house, I would just eat spoonfuls of sugar. And now I have ADHD.
Next up, we're gonna work on the fried chicken. So I've got some chicken thighs right here.
Nice.
I've just got some salt and pepper on them. Just slap them in there.
Slap.
We're gonna go the best way possible. We're gonna marinate these in buttermilk. The other thing that a lot of southern restaurants do with their fried chicken is they use pickle juice.
Yeah. Oh.
But instead of pickle juice, guess what we're gonna use?
What?
Beer! Okay, so pickle juice, the reason they use it in their recipes is because it's acidic. It's gonna break down the chicken thighs. It's gonna make them nice and tender. So you wanna find an acidic beer. So something heavy in wheat or a sour. This here is a Jam Up the Mash, a dry hop sour. Alright, cool. It's not too fruity. So we're gonna dump some of that in there as well.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And had I been more prepared, I would have had this open before.
Here, I got this, buddy.
It's not champagne. I don't like how good you did that.
Is that good?
Yeah. So number 2 thing with beer, we've got chicken marinating in buttermilk and beer. That's 2 uses of beer in our dish.
Whoa.
What are we on, 3?
Sorry, I'll get that. 3.
Beer incorporation number 3, we've got beer mustard. So I've got full mustard seeds. They've been soaking overnight. You want to do 12 to 24 hours soaking these bad boys so they're nice and soft. And then you're just going to get an immersion blender. You can get a food processor in there as well, so you get the texture you like. I like to have a little bit of some of the seeds in there, but this is too much. We're just going to add a bunch of other cool stuff to it.
What's this?
This is some cider vinegar.
Nice. What kind of cider?
Apple cider.
Ooh.
Smoked paprika.
Smoked pea?
Some SP.
Some SP?
Some smoked pea. For those of you who don't know, this is a pepper cannon. It's the best pepper grinder on the market. If you got $200 kicking around, buy one.
You spent $200 on this?
Let's fountain some of this in here.
Let's fountain some of that.
Some slick yellow mustard.
Some slick yellow M.
Oh, honey, I forgot to put honey in.
I'm the magician. That should be the. You spent $200 on a pepper grinder.
Alright, so pan's nice and warmed up. We're gonna throw our veg in. Why is there a fork in here? We're just gonna give the veg a quick little mix. Little mixy poo. Why don't you bring the camera over here, Chris? Once it starts to heat up a bit, we're gonna get some salt in there. And some pepper in there.
That's gonna make the blooper reel.
That's gonna make the real one, so be cool about it. So I'm not doing this again. So we're gonna get some salt and pepper in there. That's gonna not only add some flavor, but that's shut up. Onions, celery, garlic, pretty fully cooked now. Smells delicious. We're gonna get our other ingredients in there. Beer that we're gonna be using for this.
Fuck yeah.
Just a good old crock of Guinness. Oh no. How did that happen? So we're gonna get some Guinness in there. We're just gonna crank this up. Just get some of that reduced. We're gonna cook off the alcohol, get it nice and thick, and then we're gonna add in the rest of our ingredients.
There's green light.
All right, you wanna recap what we did? The battery died, so we did some stuff not in front of the camera. Okay, so first off, we formed up our buns into 6 buns, equal sized portions, rolled it out. It does need a little more proofing, so we're just gonna throw it off to the side. We're gonna cover it up so they don't dry out.
How do you know they need a little more proofing?
I was about to say, I'll show you in a couple minutes. Beans, our beer, it dissolved, it thickened up. After that, I added some ketchup, some beef stock. I also added in, what did I add in? Next up, I had this idea this morning, but we're gonna try and make a hot sauce with beer, and I have no idea if this will actually work. I'm just blind by the seat of my pants. It's a poblano and a rough chop, and then we can keep the seeds and whatnot. I got a couple jalapenos and serranos as well.
Oh!
So we're gonna add some more of this jam up the mash into there.
Jam up the mash.
And we're just gonna...
Just pour it in?
Yeah, just pour it in.
How much, the whole can?
Just do it all. Let's go, let's see. Oh my goodness.
That was good.
Is that all of it?
No, I just some...
We're gonna make a slaw. So to start off, we're gonna make a dressing for the slaw. So, right? Look at this.
Oh!
Look at this. Mayonnaise.
Some nays.
Do you remember our mustard from earlier?
I do.
That's also.
You're gonna put it in slaw?
It's gonna go in the slaw dressing. We're gonna get some honey.
Oh yeah, get that in there. Drive that into you.
Some white wine vinegar.
Do you know where white wine vinegar originated from?
White wine.
From the white wine region of France.
Next up, some sugar. Right, look at that, man. You got that much on a regular pepper grinder. You can't. Because this isn't a regular
You just
pepper.
can't.
This isn't a regular pepper grinder.
Does salt and pepper need to go in everything?
More or less, right? You know? Our buns, they're pretty much done proofing now. I'll show you how to tell. So you'll just gently poke a little, and if it bounces back up at you, that means it's done. See how it popped at us?
What if I want like harder? Is it gonna pop back?
It will eventually. Stop it! I've just got an egg and a little dollop. I used buttermilk because it's all the milk I had. I've also got some smoked finishing salt that we're gonna throw on these before we put them in.
Like, what's some smoked fish?
I was like, whoa, that'd be awesome. Oven, it's gonna go 400. We're gonna fire it in there for about 15-ish minutes. We'll check on it then.
Get this on camera? Oh yeah.
We've boiled off our peppers and some beer, and this is. Get ready. Whoa! Whoa! What the fuck? our little hot sauce here.
Is that all we're putting into it? Just that? Just beer and peppers?
For now, we're gonna toast it off. We're gonna throw in a couple like pieces of butter.
Okay. Oh,
And
right,
then
yeah.
we're
You
gonna
want to
turn that into like buffalo.
Yeah, I want to do buffalo style.
Buffalo stuff.
Simulated California garlic.
So I got some garlic, I got some smoked paprika, got some breadcrumbs, we'll get some salt in there. Okay, dude. Some pep.
Can I toss this?
Sure.
Just to mix it up.
Yeah, let's see it. Oh yeah. We're also gonna whip up a beer batter.
You want me to whip up the beer batter? I'm just gonna dump all this beer in there.
Dump some beer in there, man.
One
Get
for me
some
and then
beer.
one for the road.
Hey. It's interesting wording. Oh, that.
Oh.
Let's stop.
Bam!
We did not need that much beer in there.
You said empty all of it. Okay, here, I'll just sip some off.
Lap it up like a puppy.
Should not have been drinking.
You
She's 1 year old.
Yeah, man, that was messed up, dude. I can't believe we brought you. All right, so as of right now, we've got beer, flour. We're gonna give a dollop of our mustard too,
Nice.
and then this is gonna get a little bit of monosodium glutamate,
Nice.
salt, or as the French would say, sel. Some pepper. You know what? We're probably gonna need more beer. Yo! That looks like waffle batter right now. Connor, we need a new whisk.
Oh no. I got really mad at Jordy and I broke this one over his head. Connor, where are you going?
Okay, that looks pretty good. Stop.
Just stop.
Stop. Okay. So we pulled the buns out. They look like this. They're pretty good, nice and dense. Got our oil heating up. Beans are ready to go. I seasoned them up a little bit with some MSG, salt, and pepper to taste. So they are nice. They're going to be absolute fire. So we are going to be dredging our chicken here.
Oh, nice. Classic dredge, you know?
You know what dredge means?
Yeah.
Our little buttermilk mixture from earlier.
Oh,
We're just going to drop it into the flour. We also made a beer batter. We found the beer batter being made, right?
We sure did.
Okay, good. It's been a long day. So that's our first one. We're going to do this several times, right? We put it in the bread. I also like to leave it after we bread them. I like to let it sit a little while because that bread's going to really cling, and then the breading and the crust is actually going to really stick to that chicken after we deep fry it. We're going to throw in our chicken thighs. Just going to double check the temperature on our oil first, actually. So it's sitting at about 400. What's gonna happen is it will go down a little bit, which is gonna be nice. So we're gonna fire these into here right now with it like that. I'm just gonna move that aside. All right. Next up, while we're doing that, we are going to make our coleslaw. So we're gonna take a little chunk of blue cheese. We're just gonna mash that up. We're just gonna incorporate that into the dressing.
What's that?
Fire in. This is our dressing from earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, we crushed that one.
I buy.
The bag of coleslaw.
You don't make your own coleslaw?
It's literally just shaved cabbage, carrots, and purple cabbage. So we're just gonna give that a little
Not a
folding
real cooking
action.
show if you use bagged cabbage.
It's not a real cooking show if we have a guy just standing there being mean.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's Slaw. You can go on our sandwiches.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to be sarcastic. I didn't know we were putting it hard.
After a million strenuous hours, we finally have our meal. We've got our beer brioche. We've got our chicken. So the chicken was marinated with a little bit of an acidic beer.
Oh, you're gonna toss it in there?
Oh, it's getting tossed in there.
No fucking way.
There's also a beer batter, so it's getting tossed in this sauce. The peppers were boiled in beer, so that's how we incorporate it there. We're gonna throw our coleslaw on. The coleslaw dressing features our beer mustard that we made up earlier. And then, of course, we've got our Guinness baked beans. This is another one. Oh, I'm excited for these. These are so good. Okay. Go sit, my son.
Thank you, sir.
You ready to dive in?
I'm ready to dive in.
All right, let's go.
Let's go start the
First off, beans. Yeah, those are dope. All right, let's go with the sandwich.
Let's go.
This is a big fella. Holy shit. That beer actually made that chicken so tender. And the brioche was heavy when we pulled it out of the oven, but it's still also like nice and soft. It's not dense when you bite into it. The coleslaw, that's great too. There's heat. I'm getting heat now.
It's got a nice crust.
All in all, I think our beer meal was a success. We've done it again. Another delicious meal full of unnecessary amounts of veal.
Veal?
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
I don't want to talk about it.
We've seen some things. We've cooked some things. We made some beans.
Said some things that we regret.
And now we're gonna fill this house up with our bean farts.
Yeah, that's why the cat ran away.
That's why the cat ran away.
That's why the
No,
cat
it's just
ran
bean
away.
farts.